Hey Siri.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto District of Seattle. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start the drive with Elliott, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. On play action, Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Let's face it, everybody at the start of a game has a mental image of how they expected to go, and I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control, and that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Yeah, foiled the whole plan there, turned the ball over.
Ready, set. On the ball. Set, cut.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He's going to look deep down the field. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And his kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say we should have done better there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Boye Mafe. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The clock running here. Under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. After the sack on first down, Prescott. He'll get this to Elliott. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. A big play that time through the air. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, he had to wait until December, but congrats to the rookie, his first INT.
Yeah, he's been a reliable contributor for this defense throughout the season. Definitely got a bright future, and has gotten even brighter after making that play.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception, picked up by Trey Brown. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. So they get the interception, and almost as importantly, a big return after that.
And who was the guy that saved the touchdown, partner? The guy who threw the interception. A lot of times, he just gives it the old Olay, but give him credit. He went old school. He is determined not to make this a...
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season. And those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Fields it right around the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there. They'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage.
And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken in at the 11. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Okay, ready?
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Ready?
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. The Seahawks at 10-4 on the year. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done. I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays. Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
97. Black shot. Red cycle. Smash. Smash. Yellow. Blue.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Prescott's throw there caught by Gallup.
A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. It's caught inside the 25.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. On the left side, Gallup's got it.
And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
This is Lamb on the end around.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score.
CeeDee Lamb.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Cowboys are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And with a 17-7 lead, maybe they're just looking to get into the locker room.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Hey, red.
2nd and 13. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker.
And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half.
So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Ready.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And, Charles, they got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because we were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Back to Walker on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll drop to throw.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Black ultra. Hey, green.
Now back to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Micah Parsons
with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And his kick here is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, the kicking field goals, not in their...
Oh, Prescott stripped. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. On the counter, Elliott. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 2nd down and 4, Prescott. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Seahawks are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys.
Walker hit and the ball is out. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it. This is intercepted.
Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
And now here's another interception. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. And Walker once more.
And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
To the right side, this is Walker.
And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And, frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys.
And my goodness, another interception. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT.
Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 23. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Prescott. Dancing to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
3rd and long for Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And that is incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On play action, they'll throw. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season.
And the Seahawks extend this 4th quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
He's got a man complete.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Prescott off play action. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Cowboys get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
Santos with the extra point, and that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a squib kick fielded just inside the 20.
Ready, break.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Hurry.
They'll look to throw here. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Trying the left side with Walker.
And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one total.
He's got a man complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Prescott. And the the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Boye Mafe
able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up fourth down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone. And the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now Prescott on fourth down.
He'll fire this deep for Gallup.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on fourth down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Here we go.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning.
Red, yellow.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
10.
On second down, it's Walker.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Ready.
And the Cowboys here on third down bringing in an extra defensive back.
Ready.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Seahawks send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Prescott on first down. A dump off to Elliott.
Down inside the 10.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
On 2nd and goal, Prescott being under pressure again, and down he goes again. So the victory here for Seattle. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers.